Okay, I don't think I'm speaking out of line here, but I'm feeling kind of jumbly inside, and I think probably a lot of the rest of the world is too. There's so much change and uncertainty going on in the world and in my life, and I'm kind of wondering like what the heck is going on. And maybe it's just because I'm turning 37 and I'm kind of reevaluating everything, but I know I'm not alone in this. AI is coming for all the creators' jobs. Maybe it's not. Will my career as a photographer be extinct? Will companies or people even need me as a photographer or photography in general to market their business? I don't know. What I do know is I don't really want to do anything else. I love photography and filmmaking. It's really kind of all I've known for the last 20 plus years. But it's not just photography that's kind of like up in the air right now. There's so much world tension. We are living in a post-global pandemic world where for at least the past decade, everyone's saying the housing market's gonna crash. It kind of feels like we might be looking at a world war, maybe a civil war in the US. Will the US try to take over Canada? I mean, there's so much jumbliness going on in the world and has me feeling uneasy, and I know I'm not alone. A couple weeks ago, Eliza and I went to a workshop put on by Chris Do. We were so excited. It was on branding and AI, and I thought it was going to be like a very uplifting event. But the people in the crowd, when asking questions, everyone was uneasy. I'm actually I use AI regularly, and I'm actually kind of excited for it. Not necessarily how it might affect photography, but how I can implement it in my business. But question after question after question was people voicing their concerns. And that's the thing. They weren't asking questions. They were voicing concerns about how AI is going to take their creative jobs and how the younger generation needs to go through all this painstaking kind of stuff that the previous generation had to go through. And I don't agree with that. But I am also wondering what AI is going to do to my job. But this is not new. It's not new at all. When I first started photography, digital cameras were like 4 megapixels and not good enough to be in print yet. And all the photographers in the industry were like, film's gonna be forever. You have to, it's film or nothing. If you use digital, we're blacklisting you. And yeah, I had film cameras and I shot on film. Now I was like in grade 8 and the things I was shooting were random, but I was learning and it was really cool. And you'd have to wait for the film and there was that excitement, and film actually kind of has a resurgence right now, which is really cool. Although I'm not really shooting it personally right now, I think that's amazing. Film is essentially dead. Here's a picture of my childhood. I don't know if you can see this. Right there. This is my back alley. This is Nick, our neighbor, jumping over, who I assume is my brother, and over a pail. This is like a 10-foot gap. This is what we did as kids, and that was freaking awesome. But what I find really funny about this photo is I didn't turn the setting off that put the date on the film, so the date is burned into the film. It's from July 29th. 2001. So that's how long I've been taking photos. Since the year 2000. That's over 25 years now. I've seen a lot of change. I had a digital camera after my first film camera, and it was like a point and shoot kind of thing. I don't remember it that well, but this, my first DSLR, the Canon D20. It's just sitting on the shelf, not doing anything. But super tiny sensor, it still works. I could still use it. The technology has changed so much. This is 8 megapixels, 5 photos a second, all right? Then came the 5D Mark II. Now this was a revolutionary camera, and honestly still super great. The color science and the skin tones, fantastic. First DSLR to put video in. You could film HD video with interchangeable lenses. That was wild for the time, right? Super cool. Then my first 50 megapixel camera, right? The 5DS, also revolutionary for a time. Now I'm shooting this on a Canon R5, you know? Back in the day, they used to have Super 8 video cameras. I've shot a couple rolls of film on here, and now cell phones in our pocket. Really high quality photos, videos. I can do slow-mo 4K of my children like running and playing. All of these technological advances have a lot of people freaking out that their careers are going to change and they might not have work. But there's a giant population who is also excited for the change, excited that you can take high definition slow-mo footage of your kids like that, or film a commercial with something that fits in your pocket. That's also really cool, but it leaves us feeling really uneasy. And just reflecting back, now that it's my birthday, on my years of photography, like a quarter century of photography, things are changing. I think if I were able to go back and talk to like my high school self and look at where I am now, I would feel wildly successful. I live in what I think is the best city in the world. I have an amazing wife and marriage, and we actually like each other. We have 2 amazing kids who are so much fun, and it's so great to see them growing up. I make a decent wage. Like, I pay for a family of 4 to live in Vancouver, and it's not easy. I definitely need to probably raise my rates and book more clients to maintain a lifestyle and provide a really good lifestyle for our family here in the city. But I don't necessarily feel that success, or that I've arrived or made it, or that I have it set for the rest of my life. And although that's like a really uneasy, unsettling feeling, I think it's the right feeling. It keeps us pushing, it keeps us going. I never want to be done learning. I want to be 67, 87 and still learning and still doing something. Maybe not 87 and live in the daily grind trying to like make ends meet, but I never want to be done growing, changing, learning, exploring. I don't want to live my life in a fear-based situation and worried about if AI is going to take my job, or if I'm as far ahead as in my career as the other photographer. It's not about that. For me, it's my journey and my learning curve, my continual success. I'm only competing against myself, and I only want to get better for me and my family. But it is exhausting. Like I hear and feel how exhausting it is to feel every time we have something figured out, it changes. You know, you had to have a website, and that's how you got clients. But then social media came along and you could just post to Instagram. And I used to get so many clients off Instagram. I don't get any clients off Instagram now. And I had that formula figured out and it was working. And now it's changed. And then I have to figure out AI, and it can be kind of tiring. So if you're feeling that way and you're feeling stuck or scared or exhausted from the constant change, you're not alone, because I'm there too. But I'm really trying to remind myself that it's about the journey. It's fun to learn new things and to embrace change, because that's the only thing that's guaranteed in life is change. And so I'm reminding myself that on my 37th birthday, as I'm kind of freaking out about what the heck I'm doing with my life. So as I go into my 38th year, I'm pushing 40. I'm not worried about getting old, but I want to remind myself to stay curious. Curious about my kids and what interests they have and how I can, make them thrive. Curious about how my wife is changing, because every year she's a new person. Curious about what I want in life and internally exploring. So yes, everything, especially for the creative industry folk out there right now, everything feels uncertain. Everything's an unknown. But we've been through this. Film changed to digital, like compact digital, which changed to DSLRs, which changed to movie-enabled DSLRs, which changed to high-resolution DSLRs, which then changed to mirrorless, and now AI. But people are still shooting film. People are still shooting with a DSLR. There's actually not too much difference between a DSLR and a mirrorless camera. There's just no mirror. that's a whole different thing. Every time the world changes, I adapt. I learn, I grow, and I keep shooting photos because that's what I love to do. I love the connection I get with another human who I'm photographing, or peer photographer and video people who we can collaborate and do really cool projects with, or collaborate with public relations and doing photos and video projects for my wife. Like, I love those human connections. And so I'm going to keep doing that. But I'm going to also learn the new stuff. I'm not going to get left behind in the dust. So as technology comes and goes and changes, I think there's a couple things that will never go out of style. Human connection, love. So yeah, things are changing. But instead of being scared of that change and freaking out, in my 38th year of life, I really want to use that change to fuel me to continue being curious, seeking out human connection and love and cool photo projects and other business opportunities that may have nothing to do with photography, because that's exciting to me, is always doing something new, always learning. And I'm really looking forward to this next year.